Germans have a secret for a yard that looks perfect all year, with almost no work. No weekends lost to weeding. No standing outside with a hose every evening. And it all comes down to one principle most of us get completely backwards. I'll reveal that principle at the very end, but first, the 8 rules that make a German yard basically run itself. By the end, you'll know exactly how to turn a high-maintenance yard into one that takes care of itself, the German way. And rule number 4 is the one that saves the most weekends, so make sure you stick around for that. Before we start, one for the comments. What's the one yard chore you hate most? Mowing, weeding, or watering? Let me know below. Rule 1. Shrink the lawn. A big open lawn looks great, but it's the single most demanding thing in any yard. It needs mowing, feeding, watering, and weeding all season long. Germans tend to keep lawns modest and hand the rest over to low-maintenance planted beds and gravel paths. Less grass simply means less work every single week. Start with your hardest-to-mow corner, that awkward strip you dread, and turn it into a planted bed. And remember, lawn is the thirstiest thing out there. In a hot summer it can drink more water than all your beds combined. Shrinking it doesn't just cut mowing, it cuts the watering, feeding, and weeding all at once. Rule 2. Plant perennials, not annuals. Germans call them Stauden, plants you put in the ground once, and they come back on their own year after year. Annuals die every season, so you replant and repay again and again. Perennials fill in, crowd out weeds, and look better each year. Plant once, enjoy for years. German favorites are tough, long-lived perennials like lavender, catmint, coneflower, and ornamental grasses such as Mahkante. Plant a good one and it can return bigger every spring for 10 years or more, while a whole tray of annuals is gone by the first frost. But perennials only pay off if you follow the one principle I'm saving for the end, so keep it in mind. Rule 3. Give every bed a clean edge. Germans line beds and paths with a firm border, the Rasenkante. A crisp edge stops grass from creeping into the beds, so you're not on your knees recutting the line by hand. One afternoon to install, years of sharp, clean borders with almost no upkeep. Most people use a slim steel or aluminium strip pressed flush into the soil. It practically disappears from view but holds the line for decades. Leave a hand-width mulch gap between the lawn and any hedge, and the roots stop competing, so both grow better. Rule 4. The weekend saver I promised. Germans build a Mahkante, a mowing strip, a single row of flat pavers set level with the lawn along every edge and fence. The mower wheel rides right along it and cuts the very last blade, so there's nothing left to trim by hand. No string trimmer, no bending, no edging chore. This one detail erases the most annoying half-hour of yard work every week. All it takes is a single row of concrete or clinker pavers, about a hand-width wide, set just below blade height. It's one afternoon of work, and after that, the string trimmer basically never comes out of the shed again. And the next rule? Most people do it completely backwards their whole lives. Rule 5. Water like a German, automatically, and at the roots. Most people stand there every evening spraying the leaves, and much of it just evaporates. Germans run a drip line or soaker hose on a simple timer, straight to the roots, early in the morning. Drip watering can use up to 70% less water than a sprinkler, because almost nothing is lost to evaporation or runoff. Set it once, and you'll never hand water again, and your plants will be healthier for it. Take a raised vegetable bed, thread one soaker hose along the row, and every root drinks evenly overnight. No puddles, no dry spots, no standing there with a hose. And because the leaves stay dry, a drip-fed tomato quietly dodges the mildew that plagues sprinkler-soaked plants. A basic tap timer costs about as much as 2 coffees, and it waters at 5 in the morning, when barely anything is lost to the sun. Put your thirsty plants on one line and your drought-tough ones on another, and everyone gets exactly what they need. Rule 6. Right plant, right place. The Germans call it standortgerecht. Instead of fighting nature, they match each plant to its spot. Sun-loving, drought-tough plants in the hot spots, shade lovers under the trees. A plant in the right place needs no babying, no extra water, no fuss. Choose tough, climate-friendly plants, and let them do the work for you. Drop a thirsty hydrangea into a baking south-facing bed and you'll be chained to the hose all summer. Put a lavender in that exact spot and it shrugs off the same heat without a second thought. For a hot, dry corner, think lavender, sedum, yarrow, or Russian sage, plants that actually prefer poor soil and shrug off a heat wave. For dry shade under trees, hostas, ferns, and epimedium fill in beautifully on almost no water at all. Rule 7. Let a robot do the mowing. The robotic mower, the Mahroboter, is everywhere in Germany. It trims a little every day on its own, so the lawn stays even and the fine clippings feed the grass. But here's the part most videos skip, and it's the truly German way to do it. Only run it during the day. At night, hedgehogs and other small creatures come out to feed, and robotic mowers can badly injure them. That's why German conservation groups, and even the German Association of Cities, are calling for a nighttime ban. So set yours to mow between morning and early evening, add a rain sensor, and you get a lawn that mows itself, without harming the wildlife that makes a garden feel alive. Set it to run from mid-morning to early evening, add the rain sensor, and it parks itself when the weather turns. A modern robot quietly keeps a good-sized lawn perfect on its own and docks to recharge. After a week, you honestly forget it's there. Rule 8. Never leave bare soil to the weeds, but do it the living way. For paths, lay gravel on a proper compacted base with a solid edge, so it stays firm and weeds can't take hold. In your beds, skip the plastic weed fabric. It only works for a season or two, then weeds root in the debris that settles on top, and it slowly starves the soil underneath. Instead, spread a good layer of bark mulch and plant densely, so ground covers and perennials close the gaps themselves. No light, no space, no chance for weeds, and the mulch holds moisture, so you water even less. A layer of bark mulch about 5 centimeters deep is the sweet spot, thick enough to starve weed seeds of light, thin enough to let the rain soak through. For the planting, Germans lean on hardy spreaders like creeping thyme, hardy geranium, and pachysandra that knit into a solid carpet within a season or two. Which brings us to the one principle behind all 8 rules. So here's the principle most people get backwards. A German garden never leaves bare soil. Bare dirt isn't empty, it's a weed waiting to happen. Every square inch is covered, but covered with life. A plant, a ground cover, or a layer of mulch, with gravel saved for the paths. And notice what that is not. It's not a lawn traded for a lifeless sea of stone. Those gravel Schottergarten have actually fallen out of favor in Germany. Several states now restrict or ban them, because they're bad for insects and wildlife. The real German secret is the opposite. Cover the soil with living plants. Do that, and all 8 rules click into place. Less lawn, perennials filling in, mulch and dense plantings sealing the rest. The yard stops being a chore and starts running itself. Quick recap. Shrink the lawn, plant perennials, give beds a clean edge, build a mowing strip, water on a timer, right plant right place, let a robot mow, by day, and cover every inch of soil with living plants and mulch. Germans do the same thing indoors, and in the next video we're covering why German homes never look cluttered, the simple daily habits that keep a German home tidy with almost no effort. See you then.